Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I'm adjusting myself here. So, today we're going to talk about you're stuck in this weight loss, gain it back loop because, and I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 steps that we normally go through with anything we want to change, including our weight loss, and how that loop, we're getting stuck in that loop of these 3 steps and how you can move yourself out of it. Morning, thanks for joining. How you can move yourself out of it. I am Vickie Griffith with Breakthrough. I am glad you're here this morning and welcome. So with any change that we want in our life, there's 3 steps we're going to go through. And you know the 3 steps of change. I've already talked about those, which is awareness. So first you have to be aware there's something you want to change. The second step is an understanding, and this is kind of an understanding, where did it come from, why is this happening to me, what can I do differently, what am I experiencing, what am I feeling. And then the third stage is do. You make a plan and you do it. Always a little more easily said than done, because a lot of us get stuck at, good morning, hi Kathy, a lot of us get stuck at stage 2, which is the understanding piece. And we don't go back to changing our belief systems about ourselves that have been created for some of us decades, some of us years, sometimes just an hour or 2, but it's influencing your life in a huge way. These 3 steps are the steps that you're going to go through when you're in that third step of doing. And it is also the second step where a lot of us as dieters get caught. So the first step in learning any process, whether you're learning an instrument, whether you're learning something in a new diet or a new way of releasing weight, if you're practicing something, you want to learn something technical, or you're studying for exams, or you want to create more money, or you want to bring someone into your life, the first step is deciding that's what you're going to do and focusing your attention on it. And this first step, excuse me, to pick up some notes that I just wrote, you're pretty excited about it, right? I remember when I was a kid, I was excited about learning how to play the guitar. And my parents bought me this amazingly beautiful guitar with mother of pearl inlays. And I was just so excited about getting started, believing that I was going to be able to play even Twinkle Twinkle Little Star without much effort. The reality is, anything that you want to change or learn will take effort. But yet there's that first stage. We're very excited. And with dieting, what happens, we get really excited about, this is going to be the one. This is going to be it. I'm going to be able to release the weight this time and keep it off. And the same thing happens, even learning to ride a bike, right? You're so excited about the bicycle until you get on it and learn you have to balance on a bicycle. So we're at that stage of excited about going out and buying the foods that are associated with the diet. We're excited about the new exercise plan. We're excited about the new challenge. We learn everything and get deeply immersed. At least I do. I get deeply immersed in, what is this like? Whatever program I've been on, I get deeply excited and immersed about the program, the foods that I need to eat, and the times that I need to eat. And it depends on the guidelines of the program, right? But I'm excited about it. I'm learning about it. The next stage is the one, again, we get stuck at. Sorry, I keep turning my head. I'm in the office today, as you can tell, so welcome to my studio. And I don't always take enough time to put up my lighting and make things a little easier for myself. That's going to change. So I'm going to get out of these 3 stages very quickly. But here's the trial and error piece. That's the second stage, and that's where I'm at with being in my office rather than being outside. So something that silly, bringing these Facebook Lives to you, I'm in the trial and error stage of moving back into my office because it's getting really, really hot in Florida. I mean, it was 90 plus some yesterday, expecting the same today, even at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I will be moving inside on a more permanent basis until it starts cooling off again. But it's a trial and error stage, so I haven't quite got used to the timing. So when I was doing it outside, I could go out 2 minutes before, maybe even a minute before, grab my tripod, my phone, and just find the best lighting outside and hit go live. The change of bringing it back into my office where my light's a little more funky in here and setting up the lights and setting up the tripod, I haven't given myself enough time. That's that trial and error. And I could beat myself up over it. And I bet that's what you're doing with losing weight. In this trial and error stage, you are beating yourself up because you're not doing it right. You're not doing it perfect. You're not doing the way you thought it should be. It starts to get hard in stage 2. This is usually around the week 3 of any diet. I see people starting to not be as committed. I see people if I'm doing a group, they're not showing up for the group calls. This is where it does get hard because now it's willpower, determination. And I don't believe in willpower. I believe that there's a purpose for it, but not in dieting. But on the 3rd week, it becomes drudgery. Everything has changed, and you're still not used to it yet. Just like I'm still not used to coming inside and doing these lives inside. You're not used to it yet. It feels hard. And because it feels hard, or you're not getting any results, the scale isn't budging yet, you give up. Give up on yourself, you give up on your goals, you give up on the possibility of ever being thin. Stage 2 is critical to know that this is normal. When I decided to play the guitar, when I decided to play the guitar, and this was when I was a kid, and I had this beautiful guitar I absolutely adored. I was so excited my parents bought it for me. Hi, Doreen. We were always on a limited income, and so they did some side work to get this guitar for me. And then I went to my first lesson, and I discovered it was hard. So I went out of the excitement stage. This is going to be amazing, and it's kind of like a fantasy land that we create for ourselves, a little fantasy story, a Cinderella story in our head about how amazing this time on this diet is going to be and how easy it's going to be for us. It doesn't mean that it's not. However, for most of us at stage 2, we're still making errors. We're still eating off program just a little bit or a whole lot. We are in that trial and error stage of, well, if I do eat this little bit that's not on program, will I sacrifice my weight loss? Or you're totally devoted and nothing has changed. So I could be totally devoted to playing my guitar and practicing, which is boring. And I'd have to not be playing outside with my friends. I had to be inside playing the guitar. I wasn't very good at it, and it felt uncomfortable, and I wasn't doing it perfect, and I couldn't even play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And so then all these things about how I'll never be able to play this start showing up. The whole mind game started showing up, and how I'll never be able to play this. I'll never be good at this, so why bother? And truthfully, I gave it up. One of the regrets of my life. I gave it up because I couldn't see, no one would explain this to me, that regardless of whatever we're going to try, even now at my age, we are going to have a trial and error time. We're just going to. There's going to be a time when it feels uncomfortable, it feels nasty, it feels hard, it feels overwhelming, it feels frustrating because we're not getting the results we want and it's not happening fast enough and we just think that it should automatically. That comes back to that fairy tale, that story that we told ourselves, right? All excited about how this was going to be the one. This is a stage where most people quit, whatever they're trying. And I'm sharing this with you today to let you know that it doesn't have to be that way. Stage 3 is you begin to assimilate, you begin to act as if it's just normal, becomes your new normal behavior, but yet there's still trial and error going on. There's still that point where you're going to tweak your program, your eating program, because it feels right, it's time, or you want to release a little more weight and your weight's a little stuck. So you start tweaking your program and it goes back into trial and error because you're not used to that tweak. And this is all normal. This is what I'm trying to show you. This is normal. And what's really, really very fascinating is if you're at stage 2, that whole trial and error time, and you hear yourself saying the judgment and criticism in your mind about you'll never get it, you'll never be right, it's not perfect, there's something wrong with me, I'm not enough, I'll never be thin, all of those type of thought patterns that you've had in the past. Here's what's interesting. The brain has created a pathway for you to go down there because it's addicted to negativity. It's addicted to drama. Your brain is addicted. I got a couple notes here, so I want to share these with you. I think it's really important that you know this, that your brain is addicted to fear. Your brain is addicted to anxiety and stress. Your brain is addicted to negativity and drama. And this isn't that I'm just making this up. If you've heard of Sigmund Freud, with most of us who have heard of him, he created the ego and consciousness and all of that so we could start studying the human mind. His nephew took his information and started creating ways and selling it to marketing people because he knew these things. He knew that if he started marketing to your fear, you would be more likely to buy it. And it's true. That's why we watch and get addicted to social media, addicted to the negativity. That's why we watch the news. The news knows this. They want to create as much fear for you, anxiety, stress. They want you to be in this drama because they know the brain is addicted to it. And so in that case, you just turn it off or you limit your time. But for our lives, it becomes a little more difficult because it's our brain addicted to the drama of what it takes to lose weight. It's our brain addicted to the negativity and those negative voices saying you'll never do it, you can never be thin enough, you'll never be. And I have conversations time after time after time when people look back at their lives and they look at pictures of themselves when they thought they were just absolutely grossly fat and overweight. And they look back now and they go, I wish I could be that fat. Because they're 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds over that point when they thought they were fat. We're addicted to the negativity. We're addicted to the anxiety around it. We're addicted to stress. And we're addicted to fear. And your brain is going to go there in stage 2. The trial and error piece. It's going to find every reason for you to stop and to prove to you that you are right, you can't do it. Now, that's not starting up a fight with our brain. It's actually kind of knowing this it's kind of amusing to me because I can listen to those words, that self-talk that's negative, and go, no, I choose not to think that. When someone else says to me, oh, you're getting too thin, or this isn't going to hurt, just one more bite, I can say to myself, no, thank you. That's not my belief. And I can even say to them, no, thank you. So you start assimilating new behaviors. You start assimilating new neural pathways. The thing is that we can train our brain to love peace, to enjoy calm, to actually enjoy and celebrate. It's the first question I ask every one of my clients. And sometimes they want to go down the rabbit hole so fast when we get on the call together. And I'm like, nope, stop. What are we celebrating? We have to train our mind and our brain to celebrate and to see what's amazing in the world and within ourselves. We have to pay attention and be focused on that to be able to change the negativity because it will change. And that's one of the reasons why we go through this trial and error period, because our brain is still stuck in the old pattern. And now that you know that it's a pattern, now that you know your brain's addicted, with a giggle, you can just say, no, thank you. And then send gratitude to yourself, your brain, the situation, people in your lives, from your heart, not your head. We are so easy, and I'm learning this from someone who's sharing this into the world, and I love her message. And this is just part of her message. Her name is Patricia, and thanks, Patricia, for sharing this with me. Your heart. We're so easy for sending it from our head. I'm grateful for. But if you go to your heart space and send that gratitude out to that person, to the experience, to the event, to what you're wanting. You know, I'm wanting to lose weight. Send gratitude to your body and your mind for all the silliness that's going to put you through, because that's what it is. It's just silliness. However, what that means is you're not broken. What that means is that you can't ever, or you will not ever. What I mean by you'll never be thin. I can't be thin. It's not true. You are in control of your brain. And then you get to the assimilation stage, and what that means is you are more adapt to. So I'll eventually get used to working out of my office, being in my office a few minutes earlier to set up, because I'll assimilate to it. And if I make another change, that means I need to have a trial and error period. If I go back outside again, I'll need another trial and error. I'll also be moving to my laptop rather than my phone. That's going to be another trial and error. But I've assimilated to doing these every day at 8 a.m. on weekdays. And that part's easy. It's the little differences, the tweaks that create the trial and error. And that's where we get stuck, and that's where we quit. I'm challenging you. Stop quitting. Or on the other hand, start quitting the negative thoughts. Stop quitting the thought pattern that I'll never get this, because you can, and you will. It takes trial and error. An artist has a vision for their painting, and they're excited about their vision, and they begin to paint. And all of a sudden that color doesn't quite look right, or maybe that tree shouldn't be in that space. There's this uncertainty that happens, but yet they keep moving through it. They don't stop. They keep moving through it. And sometimes they leave the tree where they thought it shouldn't be, or they'll leave the color where they thought it wasn't the right color. And when the completed painting is done, it's exactly what they had in mind. And that's what you are too. You are creative. You are a process. And you can have exactly what you have in mind by knowing that these 3 steps, the step 2, usually around week 3 of any new food plan, is the week that people quit. By going down the rabbit hole of negativity, anxiety, and stress that you create for yourself from the fantasy, from the fairy tale of what you thought it was going to be, and that you're not getting the results that you wanted quick enough. I invite you to, and it's uncomfortable. I know it is. You talk about the comfort zone and being out of our comfort zone. It's uncomfortable. But being in that space of uncomfortable, knowing that it's okay, it's part of the process, and sending gratitude for the process, because you're learning. You're learning what not to do the next time. You're learning what not to do now, so that next time is easier, or that later down the line is easier when you're in that assimilation stage, when you've got your foundation all in order, when you've got your belief systems all in order, and you start making choices, to your surprise even, that are healthy for you, for your ideal weight. So sending this message out to you, this is what I'm here for, is to share with you that there's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken, and you don't have to be fixed. If you believe so, you are fixable, and you can make the shifts for yourself. Absolutely. Sometimes it takes support. It definitely is about changing your belief systems. Sometimes releasing your belief system, eliminating, reframe them, and that takes support. A lot of times you can't do that on your own. I even have people that I work with so that they can help me get out of the belief systems. I might not even know they're there. And changing your subconscious mind can definitely do that with ease. Part of it is awareness, and then the understanding, and then doing something about it. And the doing something about it might be as easy as listening to a recording. And I have been offering my weight loss, overcome overeating, self-hypnosis recording that thousands of people have been listening to. People listen to me all over the world. I have traveled to places I have never physically been because they're listening to my recordings in other places. So that's kind of exciting. And you can have it for no obligation at all. I will put it in the comments in the bottom of this recording so you can grab it for yourself. And it's the same recording I used 70 some pounds ago. So you're welcome to have that so you can start changing your beliefs and reframing them so that it's easier to get through step 2 without as much trial and error. However, just now, there's going to be challenge. And that's good. That's really good. Stick with it. You can do this. Until tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., I will see you then. Also, I am doing an interview at 1 o'clock this afternoon. You've been lied to. I'm really excited about having her on as a guest. And I am scheduled to do an interview on someone else's Facebook page this afternoon. So I'm looking forward to that as well. In the meantime, take care. If you have any comments or questions, please put them in the feed. These will soon be on YouTube, so go ahead and put them comments into the feed there. Share them if it resonates with you and what you think it would resonate with someone else, and let them know they're okay. Sending love. Bye now.